Good morning. I the other day, I think yesterday, I got up so early and I was so tired. I had that look on my face with the bag under my eyes, and indeed someone said to me, "You know what? You look like death," which got me to thinking about the fear of death and the illusion of life. Talking of life, as I was walking here, there was this amazingly beautiful deer just bouncing through the field. I know I'm alive when I see that sort of stuff. That's just pure beauty, pure magic. Let me just focus this camera back on me. There we go. So, back to that illusion of life. Death is the one thing that every human being must face. Yet, it really does remain one of our greatest fears. We avoid thinking about it, we distract ourselves from its reality, and we do everything in our power to delay it. But there was a Stoic philosopher, Seneca. He challenged us with a very blunt, thought-provoking question. And I quote, "You are afraid of dying, but come now. How is that life of yours anything but death?" You know what? That does sound quite harsh, doesn't it? Maybe a bit unsettling. But Seneca wasn't trying to make us despair. He was urging us to wake up, to recognize that fearing death is pointless if we're not truly living in the first place. So let's explore that's who Seneca was, that quote, what he meant, how to overcome that fear of death, and how we can start living fully right now. This guy Seneca, who was he? Commonly known as Seneca the Younger. He was a Roman philosopher, statesman, and playwright, born in 4 BC. He became one of the most influential Stoic thinkers in history. His life was full of contradictions. He was a man of immense wisdom, yet he lived in the corrupt world of Roman politics. He was an advisor to Emperor Nero, yet preached himself. He preached that self-discipline and virtue. He amassed great wealth, and he wrote about the simplicity of Stoicism. Despite these contradictions, his works, especially his letters and essays on Stoicism, have shaped the way we understand life, death, and the human experience. So let's look at what he was meaning by this powerful quote. Are we truly living? Well, how can we reflect on that? What does it truly mean to be alive? Are we living fully or merely existing? Many people, they spend their lives in a state of distraction, procrastination, and fear. They postpone their dreams, they dwell in the past, they live for the approval of others. They are biologically alive, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally, they're already gone. Let's go back to that saying. You are afraid of dying, but come now. How is this life of yours anything but death? It's really saying, if you're not living with purpose, if you're wasting your days in anxiety, fear, or superficial distractions, then what exactly are you afraid of losing? That's a wake-up call, isn't it? A reminder that life isn't measured by time, it's measured by how we use it. Why is it we really fear death? And Seneca, like all the Stoics, believed that death isn't the problem, it's our perception of death. That's the thing that causes suffering. I guess here's some reasons. There's some reasons that people fear death. and what Stoicism really teaches us about it, about overcoming these things. Firstly, the fear of the unknown. We don't know what happens after we pass, but Seneca reminds us, was there suffering before you were born? No. Then why fear that state after life? We may really have that regret over wasted time. Many people fear death because they haven't truly lived. The solution? Start living right now. Don't wait for that right time. And thirdly, the attachment to the physical world. We fear losing our possessions, status, or relationships. But the Stoicism teaches us this: everything is temporary, and clinging to it only creates suffering. By accepting death as a natural and inevitable part of life, we free ourselves on how to focus on living instead of worrying about the end. So let's look at how you can truly live, looking at that practical Stoic wisdom. How can we truly ensure that we are alive and not just passing time? I guess the first thing is that remember you will die. Memento mori. That means remember that you will die. This isn't a morbid thing, it's motivating. When we remember that our time is limited, we stop wasting it. Try this. Every morning, remind yourself, this could be my last day. Instead of fearing death, use it as a motivation to live with intention, be present, prioritize what truly matters. Most people, they don't live, they wait. They wait for that perfect opportunity, the perfect moment. Life is happening right now, whether you like it or not. And if you constantly live in the future, waiting for happiness, success, or meaning, you're not really living at all. So, focus on what you control. That's what Stoicism teaches us. We cannot control death. We can control how we live. Instead of fearing that inevitable, ask yourself, am I using my time wisely? Am I spending my days on things that matter? Am I living in accordance with my values? Can't control when or how you die, but you can control how well you live. So, wake up and live. That quote isn't about death, it's about life. It's a challenge, a call to action, a reminder that the greatest tragedy isn't dying, it's never truly living. Instead, you are afraid of dying, but come now. How is this life of yours anything but death? So, are you alive or just going through the motions? Are you filling your day with meaning, or are you just letting time slip away? The answer is in your hands. So I challenge you, starting today, live with intention, live with purpose, and when death does come, you'll be able to face it down without fear, because you will have truly lived. I hope this has spoken to you as it speaks to me. Make a comment below of how you're living today. And the best way to do it is gratitude. Write 5 things you're grateful for today, and your life will change. I'm going to record some ask-formations and make a short of them, and those things you can say to yourself every day. They're related to this video, and watch your life change once you ask these things to yourself out loud every day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do all those lovely things of liking, subscribing, and whatever it is these people do. But remember this: life is short. Make it count. Live well. And know this: I love you. And I miss you. Take care.